What is up, everyone? Today we're showcasing what I believe to be the strongest lineup in the Ultra League Premier Classic: Toxicroak, Trevenant, and Walrein. Nothing spicy today, just straight up meta, but it works oh so well. Really, if you're not gonna run this lineup, make sure to counter it, because especially this Trevenant Walrein duo is around everywhere. For a good reason, because it's so powerful. There's really only one Pokemon that can break this core, and that is Obstagoon. Besides that, there's some like soft checks to the core, like Snorlax, like an Alola Muk, like a Kanto Muk, or if you want to go much more spicy, a Zangoose or a Stoutland work. But they do have one thing in common. They lose pretty hard to Toxicroak. So that's why I'm leaning Toxicroak on this. It's basically just the best answer for the answers to the Trevenant Walrein core, and that just makes this team incredibly solid. Now, I'm also running Shadow Walrein in this team. However, both Shadow and regular are very, very similar. I don't think one is better than the other. It's mainly based on preference. I'll just bait my Shadow because well, I had a decent one. But if you don't have a Shadow and you want to use a regular one, that would work just as fine. So yeah, just use what you have. Anyway, in this lineup, I faced a Gyarados Lead which wasn't great, but I ended up having a Walrein with shield advantage here. And Walrein with shield advantage is just ridiculous, and it's kind of gonna be the theme of this video, I think. Trevenant and Walrein with shield or energy advantage, just sweeping lines, because that's what they do. They don't only have like really good synergy with each other, they both do incredible in even losing matchups with a shield up or an energy advantage as well. So it makes him incredibly strong. Got this Walrein right here and farm down the Trev, and it's a good first game. All right, Gallade Lead. This is kind of a tough Pokemon for Toxicroak and Walrein. But since Walrein is so spammy, I just switch it in there. I'll pay so I can at least do a lot of damage. I bring in the Ampharos, so I'll take the Thunder Punch here. Doesn't do too much damage. Gonna go for the Icicle Spear. This will definitely hurt, so just shoot it up. Expecting the Earthquake, actually. But you know, I baited him, and now I can hit him with another Icicle Spear. This will put him in a range where I can hopefully farm this down with Toxicroak. Hopefully before they get to 2 moves. I really want to keep my Toxicroak alive. So I can potentially get off a Sludge Bomb versus the Gallade. I'm not going to throw my move here. I could throw my move and just preserve a shield here. But no, I want this energy ready for the Gallade. I think it's very, very valuable. Just going to throw it immediately and I get really lucky. No confusion sneaks through. At this point, I will go into Trevenant and just really hope they don't have anything strong against Trevenant in the back. And it's a Venusaur, so yeah, they were triple weak against Trevenant, actually. Well, this is not over, actually, because Venusaur can still Sludge Bomb Trev, and they will still hurt quite a bit. So they're not that weak against Trev, but just kind of weak. I will shield this up, expecting the Sludge. It is just a Frenzy, though, unfortunately. Shield the bait at this point, though. Even if they Sludge me, I'm just going to try to farm down. I think there should be a Sludge, but for some reason they Frenzy again, which is crazy. I don't think it matters, though, because Sludge still would not have taken me out. So I'm safe to just go for double Seed Bomb here at this point. And yeah, that should be game over. Very nice. Very nice. Came back from a Gallade Lead. That is what you like to see. Alright, next up, Gengar Lead. This is very, very rough. Gengar can beat both Trevenant and well, actually it can beat all 3 of my Pokemon. It also has a pretty decent matchup against Walrein, which I bring into the Gengar. But in comes the Escavelier. This is not great. They did shoot up my Earthquake, though, which is awesome, because all I really want is a shield advantage at this point. I'm gonna go for another Earthquake. I didn't realize how much this would do. I was really hoping it would either kill or do less than that, because I would have loved to get more energy on my Toxie. Now I'm gonna bring in my Trev here, expecting them to drill run immediately, so I don't have to use a shield. And luckily I did not. As a good call. In comes Snorlax, though. This line is pretty much hard counter, but Toxicroak with a shield advantage might be able to do this. I do have the Mud Bomb to kill this Gengar with. So let's see. I might be okay. Gonna Mud Bomb the Gengar here. This will kill him if they don't shield. They do shield, though, unfortunately. Gonna go for another Mud Bomb after this. Gonna have to shield this up, of course. Or it would do more than a body slam from Snorlax. Gonna go for another Mud Bomb. This should kill. And now, I just really hope I can get to a charge move versus the Snorlax. They are close to the body slam. They throw right there. This will definitely hurt. But man, I might be able to reach it. If I can reach it, I think it's over. But I barely miss out on that Mud Bomb. Bring in the Trevenant now. Do 2 Seed Bombs knockout. I need these 2 knockout, otherwise we'll definitely lose. It doesn't look like it, but they still have a lot of licking to do before I die, and the body slam won't do that much, so I might still be okay. It's like 2 more Shadow Claws. It's like 2 more Shadow Claws. Maybe this is possible. The body slam at less than half. It's like 1 more Shadow Claw now. Can I Shadow Claw this down? I cannot. And it's game over. Very close. It was basically a fully hard counter game, but still managed to make it so close. There's just the power of Walrein and Trevenant right there. Pretty ridiculous. Alright, Toxicroak Mirror Lead. This really a nice on fast move, sneaking and who wins CMP. They did deny a move, so if they snuck right there, which is very likely, they would have actually won that mirror, but they actually decided to switch out into a Trevenant, which is crazy. I'm just gonna go in Walrein, because Walrein, of course, has a bad matchup versus Toxie, so I want to get rid of it. Really, Trevenant safe switch is kind of rough for this line, because both Walrein and Trevenant don't do great when an opposing Trevenant has a shield up. But it is alright, because you know, I can take any move there. They went for the Shadow Ball, which is actually smart, because Shadow Ball actually does more than a Seed Bomb, and they knew they were only gonna get to 1 move. So it's a good play by them. Make me extra low. Gonna hit this Icicle Spear on the Toxie. I'm really hoping they throw Mud Bomb immediately. So bring in Trev. They did throw immediately. So I'm expecting this to be a Mud Bomb, but so I know shield, but they make a very smart move and actually sludged immediately. Probably expecting to be running the same line, and they do have a Walrein in their back as well. So this is the exact same line we are running. Gonna Seed Bomb this before dipping into Toxie. Gonna throw Sludge. This is not great still, because they do have quite a bit of energy on this Walrein already. They will definitely be able to get the 2 Icicle Spears before I counter them down. Which, well, if it kills me, this could be quite troublesome. But Icicle Spear, not the hardest hitting move. So Toxicroak actually survives. I'm barely able to counter this down, and I have a Mud Bomb stored for their Toxie, and it is a good game. Very nice. Well, that was the mirror, and well, they were using regular, so I guess that proves that Shadow is objectively better. No, it doesn't. Still, it is really up to personal preference, I think, between those two. All right. Anyway, Poliwrath Lead. This is a pretty good lead. Well, it's not a great lead. It's pretty even. They do super effective damage to the mud shots, but like neutral counters do just that much, so it doesn't really matter. I would call this matchup very equal, and I'm very happy to see it in this spot, because I really don't want my Walrein aligned to it. So I'm gonna kill it with Toxie, with everything I have, and then my Walrein gets to avoid it, which is just beautiful. In comes the Kingdra, which is interesting. Seeing the Kingdra must mean they have like an anti-fairy in the back, right? Like a poison. It could be any poison though. It could also be Escavelier. At this point, no, it must be like maybe Magnezone. Maybe I should go in Trev here, expecting the poison. Could be like a Crobat maybe. That will make kind of sense, because otherwise they're like incredibly weak to Fairy. But I bring in the Walrein anyway. It's just slightly more spammy. I can tank this Zuka no problem, and actually have a Lapras. This is triple water. Very interesting. Very interesting. I bring in Trev here. Double Seed Boom. Should knock out this Lapras, and I might even have some energy to spare and throw it into that Kingdra. Just gonna shield this up just in case it is an Ice Beam, but it ends up being just a Surf. That is fine. I'm just gonna overfarm. I kind of overfarm too much, but this is still okay. This Surf won't do that much, and I should be able to farm up to 2 Seed Bombs here. I barely can, and now I have 1 ready for the Kingdra. So that should be a game over. A good game for me. And yes, let's go. G. Nice line though. Triple water. It's pretty interesting. All the waters also have Play against Trev, which is the most common grass. So I can see this working. Alright, great. Alright, next game. Escavelier Lead. This is where you want to see it. In comes Trev. I was bringing Walrein here. Even if they force switch here, that's fine with me. Because I have 2 answers to Escav in this squad. I have Toxie and I have Trev. So both of them I'm fine with having on the Escav. So I'm just going to use 1 shield. I'll use it here, right? Yeah, I use it here. And if they shield the next move, I'm just gonna no-shield my Walrein next. Because then I can just farm down with Trevenant and I have a shield down Treven. They probably can't win at that point. But they let that go. They help to farm me down with Escav. Actually get a good amount of farm. So I think what I decide to do is go in Trev. Because it can take the moves better. In comes Honchkrow. This is a core breaker. This is actually a really good core breaker for the Toxie Trev core, so this is quite dangerous. They need 3 more Snarls for his next Sky attack, so I'm gonna throw 4 counters at my move, because I should be able to get there before them. But the game lags, and they get 3 Snarls and their move before I do. That was some huge bullshit, because I should be able to get there before them, but I didn't. If I would have gotten that, I would have won the game, so that really sucks. But yeah, it is what it is. GG's, I guess. That is the game we play. That's the game we play. And we have another Toxicroak mirror in the next match, actually, which I really, oh man, I really don't love this mirror, especially if we lag. Yeah, really hate that. I do have a play here, but they end up making the play. They actually tried to catch a Mudball on Escav, and I got my charge move refunded, which is really bad. I would have preferred to throw that immediately on that thing, because then they can't get the counter through. Now they did, I think. But yeah, I'm just gonna throw 2 of these. I'm just gonna let my Toxie go. I still have Trev for the Toxie. And I'm not expecting an Obstagoon in the back, because they just switched in a Pokemon into my Toxie. So having a Pokemon that's really weak against Toxie in the back would not make sense. This should just be a Duran. So I'm letting it go. But yeah, what I would do normally in the Toxicroak mirror, if they stay in, if you're even on energy, I would suggest you try to catch the 3rd Mud Bomb on your Walrein, actually. I would suggest you try to catch the 3rd Mud Bomb on your Walrein. Because then you have to take some counter damage, of course. But you can get to the Icicle Spear before they get to a Sludge Bomb. So just try to catch this 3rd Mud Bomb on your Walrein. And I think that should be good. Because usually they will be weak against Walrein in the back. And like I said earlier, there wasn't going to be an Obstagoon, but as you saw, well, there was an Obstagoon. So this is not great. The Obstagoon is currently energy dried, though. They threw their move exactly after 5. So as long as I get a little bit of energy lead on my Trev, I should be okay. Because I will get to 2 Seed Bombs before they can get to 2 Night Slashers. And they know it, so they concede, and it is game over. Alright, Ampharos Lead. We've seen this before. Toxicroak does generally win this matchup, at least in the ones. I think in the 2s, if he decides to double shield, now he can just Volt Switch me down. I'm gonna throw this Mud Bomb on what I think is a CMP tie, or I just denied their Volt Switch. Does look like it's a CMP tie. It's 3 and then 2 Volt Switches for the Thunder Punches, so just keep that in mind. They're very spammy. Gonna go for another one here. They want a shield, that's so fine with me. And I just bring in Trev and farm him down. But they do decide to let it go. That is great. In comes Kanto Muck. And I love this pick. I really like my opponent's team already. I think I'm gonna make a Kanto Muck for myself. I think it's a really nice Pokemon in the current meta. Because it beats Walrein. It beats Trevenant. At least, actually, I haven't looked at the simulations. But it does have Thunder Punch for Walrein. So I assume it at least does pretty okay, right? And it has Dark Pulse for Trevenant, so I assume it does pretty okay there too. And it can also beat Obstagoon, so it beats both Walrein, Trevenant, and the hardest answer to Walrein and Trevenant. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good Pokemon. I'm definitely gonna build one, maybe a Shadow, for that little extra power, because I think, because both the moves aren't stab, I think it does sometimes lack some power, so maybe the Shadow bonus can make up for that. Definitely gonna try that out. I think it could also really work in the lead with this team. Though you would become a little weaker versus like opposing Toxicroak and Escavelier. But you would become stronger against Charmers, so that's a plus. Oh man, a Gliscor Lead. Yeah, this is quite terrible. I bring in a Walrein here, which might seem risky because that's my hard counter. But the reason I do that is because Walrein can basically burn shields on everything. And if I get shields down, my Trevenant does fine against Gliscor because I can Shadow Ball. So I'm actually going to come in Trev here. Which usually I don't recommend showing your third so soon. But I want to try to get a lot of energy here. And I thought I was counting correctly. I want to throw the Shadow Ball one before they get to the next Mega Horn. But I end up CMP dying, and I think there's just a Duro now, but no, it's a Mega Horn. And yeah, at this point, it's just over. At this point, I just messed up. I should have thrown my Shadow Ball 1 earlier. Even still, though, I don't think it would have been possible. So yeah, that Gliscor is just too rough in the lead, unfortunately. Luckily, not a Pokemon you'll see too often. So yeah, you just gotta take those L's. But yeah, if you want to counter this line, which I definitely do recommend you do, because well, I've seen the same line a couple times already. I faced it like once or twice, and on other videos I saw and other streams I saw, there were a lot of people running this line or a very similar line. And I think if you counter it, you're definitely gonna get some wins every set. So that definitely does seem worth it. Maybe consider going like a Gliscor Lead or a Crobat Lead. Both are pretty good against this line, though. Definitely not guaranteed wins, that's for sure, because both Walrein and Trevenant do fine with if they can again generate like an energy or shield advantage. Anyway, we had a Roserade Lead, which is really nice. I love facing some Rose. I love using my Rose. Unfortunately, I don't think it's that great this time around, but I might still give it a go. I think it's fine against like Trev. It's okay versus Walrein too. And there's less Nidoqueen this time around, I think. So maybe Rose is better this season in Ultra League Premier Classic than last season. Anyway, and Polion in the back. This is pretty good. I don't die to a drill pack yet, but I'm just gonna catch it on Toxie anyway. Just just for a bit of style. We gotta have a bit of style, of course. And actually Undercharge was interesting. Gonna throw a Shadow Ball. Make sure they can't catch by throwing in the middle of their charge move animation. And now I can just farm them down. Here comes Rose. I played this unnecessarily risky and I didn't throw my Seed Bomb. I should have just thrown my Seed Bomb just in case they were able to get to a Weather Ball somehow, but they didn't. So that's good. And we win the game. And that's the end. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it helped you out. I'll see you in the next one, everyone. Goodbye. Good luck with your battles.